What's going on, everyone? This is BK Plays, and today we will be bounding and astounding. We are going to make the best rebounding team in 2K26 and see if they can win a championship. And who better to start with than the Houston Rockets, who have better offensive rebounding games than anyone else in the league, and unfortunately recently have Steven Adams hurt. But in this simulation, we're going to put together an even better rebounding team than what they have right now. So to find best rebounders, we're going to go to all players through looking at the roster. Andre Drummond is at the top of the list. Duran, Edie, Mitchell Robinson. So there's a lot of guys that are pretty gettable. But we also want to field a pretty normal team, so we want to go by position. So for instance, you'll get Josh Hart out there as a good rebounder who could play anywhere from 2 through 4. And we're going to put together a team like that and see what they can do. So I'm going to start adding some guys to the target list. We're going to have to get Andre Drummond. He's very cheap. We'll be able to get him most likely. Mitchell Robinson will be our backup. And then maybe the best thing to do is look for the first player that isn't a center. Giannis, yeah, we're not going to get him. This random guy, okay. Yeah, we could probably get him. Anthony Davis, yeah, we could do without him. Champagny, okay. That's another gettable guy. Keldon Johnson is a B-plus rebounder. I was not familiar with your game, sir. He's only averaging 5 rebounds a game, though. What's his per 36? 7? Okay, yeah, it's pretty good. And he's a good three-point shooter. We'll add him to the list. You know Precious is a good rebounder. Okay, so we got some guys on the list already. Let's take a look at it. So probably the hardest guy to get will probably be Keldon Johnson first. So let's go after him. And then also let's look at our own guys' stats to see that we're not giving up a good rebounder. B plus, C. Yeah, no, not good. So that would be fine. Do we want to move on from Tari Eason, though? He's on the last year of his contract. I think I'm fine with this. We'll make that move. Okay, we'll go for Champagny in Washington. Gotta go for Washington, Champagny. Don't get the wrong one. He shouldn't cost us too much. I don't want to give up a first-round pick. I'll give up Josh Okogie. Yeah, sure. Noah Penda, who's on the Wizards. Not the Wizards, the Magic. He is a rookie, so he might be a little bit expensive. I definitely don't want to give up Steven Adams. He is one of the best rebounders. And I might have skipped over him up there. If we look at where's his stats? Yeah, he's an A-plus rebounder. So, yeah, no, can't do that. Sorry about it. Let's see if we get Mitchell Robinson. Actually, maybe we just go for Drummond first, because he'll probably be cheaper. So let's take a look at that. No offers found. Interesting. Go to the Knicks. Okay, I'd have to give up Steven Adams, Champagny, Green. Okay, so it looks like they're trying to... Okay, well, this might work. Capella is an A rebounder, but not an A-plus rebounder, and we can extend Mitchell Robinson. Holiday is an F. Green is a C. I am okay with this. It's only a slight upgrade, but Mitchell Robinson is also such a good shooter from the floor. He always has like 70% field goal percentage. So this is a good pick. He's going to give us offensive rebounds, which are tough to get. So we will make this move. Also, as I was mentioning earlier, from the Knicks, we will need to get guys that are not centers that are good at rebounding. So, we got to grab us Josh Hart. Who do I want to go? Jabari Smith Jr. You know what? I feel like he generally just does all right in these sims. Let's look at his per 36. Yeah. Yeah, it's not jumping off the page, and he's going to cost us a decent amount of money. Once he gets... Is he extended in this already? Yeah, 20 million somewhere. Yeah, let's just grab Josh. Yeah, we'll do this. Let's go use the player finder. Position, point guard, rebounding, No one's better than A. B? B minus or better. Westbrook and Press. Oh, how could I forget about Westbrook? My God. Let's go get him. Here we go. What'll it take to get Westbrook? I'm not going to give up Adams. And Westbrook he's only 2 million. Okay. We have the assets to get him. We're just going to have to not use Trade Finder to get there. Because he's only a $2 million salary slot. And you know what? This one, I can't go up Shepard. He's too expensive. Okay, now I see why they were putting things together that way. Can I get, oh, you know what? Could I also get from you Precious Achua? Okay, Kings would acquire more money. I can add an exception. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to give you Steven Adams, but I can give you picks. I can do that. And actually, would this work? Nope. They really want Steven Adams. Can I just give you second round picks and you can go away? Oh, that's not a second round pick. Nice. Precious is a good rebounder as well, so that's a good trade for 2 reasons. Okay, let's look at good rebounding shooting guards next. Better. This is someone that we traded. Oopsies. Maybe we see if we could get him back. And he's really not a 2. That's why he didn't pop up. Okay, so let's look at small forwards then. Only one guy is... Porter Jr. can get you buckets and rebound. That would be nice. Conchar is cheap. Conchar, Peyton, Thompson. I mean, if I could get a Sark Thompson, that'd be nice. But let's just go after Conchar. That's simple. And he is on the Grizzlies. Okay, they do not want to give him to me. And it might be because I made too many trades, so I don't have anyone that I can trade. Let's try to put something together, though. He costs 6 mil. Yeah, we're not going to give up Ahmed Thompson. You know, we have made a lot of trades. We have a pretty good team. Let's look at that rebounding. Yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 8 A rebounders, 3 B pluses, 3 above B minus. So we got, what is that? 3, 3, 3, 9. So we have a rotation of 9 guys. Who can we get for Durant? That's something we should have been exploring. Embiid, Butler, Avdia. Avdia, I know rebounds. He does a little bit of everything. Yeah, so 7 rebounds per 36. Getting around 9 rebounds. Oh, but I don't want to give up Champagny. Damn. Okay, let's keep looking. Randall's good at getting rebounds, but again, I don't want to give up Champagny. Sark Thompson, he's a good rebounder. Put the Thompson brothers on the same team. Zion, not a good rebounder. Oh, I mean, in this, he is. Interesting. I know in real life he's not so great. Now, Sabonis is a great rebounder, but he's at that center position. How about Laurie? About 7 a game. Kessler gets a ridiculous amount. You know what? Laurie, we could make a small forward. So think about that. Jalen Johnson. Yeah, that's exciting. And then Dyson Daniels is a good guard rebounder. Yeah, I think we make this move. Yep. We are going to trade Kevin Durant and a pick for Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels. Not even going to fight him. You can take the pick. Okay, so we will have to switch the rotation up. See where everyone goes. Okay, so the only guy in our rotation that isn't a good rebounder is Van Vliet. I'm going to do something a little bit scummy. Van Vliet will be a starting center. So that'll drop his overall and put him out of the rotation. So we could get someone else in there. Yeah, and that puts Shinpenny in there. And we have Precious that could come off the bench. Okay. So we have too much power forward and centers. So we're going to need a shift. Do we have any centers? We're going to shift some power forwards down. So, I mean, first guy is going to be Josh. We'll make him a small forward shooting guard. Jalen Johnson, you can stay there. Shinpenny, you could be a small forward. You don't have to be a power forward. You could be yeah, because we got a pretty big team. Would Van Vliet be even worse as a power forward? No, he'd be better. Okay. Let's see what that does. Okay. What center can we make a power forward? We could probably do Sengun. I'm just trying to think who's more mobile of the centers. Maybe that's what we look at. Because we want to make sure that they can move around. Athleticism. It's between Mitch and Adams. I think they're going to have to make it Mitch, which is just going to look silly. I'll keep the minutes even enough. And also will just be ridiculous at rebounding. So most important thing, we'll go over to our coach game plan. We're going to do crash offensive glass, crash offensive glass. In terms of defense, we're going to protect the paint. This just kind of feels like what we're going to do, just a big-bodied rebounding team. Play physical defense. Offensive tempo, I'm going to do patient offense. We could be as patient as we want, shoot last-second shot, and just get the offensive rebound anyway. So an offensive focus, I might just do play through star or neutral, pick and roll. You know what? Let's go with no preference and see what they decide to do. But we're going to be getting rebounds, hopefully going to be giving them hell on the defensive end. And we will be patient, shooting efficiently with our big men, and hopefully with the rest of the players as well. And again, at the trade deadline, we'll see if we can further improve our rebounding prowess. But for now, I think the best thing to do would be start simming and see where we end up at the trade deadline. All right, we have hit the trade deadline. And guys and girls, I think we might have found something interesting. We are 48-1, almost perfect. Granted, the Rockets had talent, so we were able to get some pretty good players that were also good at rebounding. Let's take a look at these stats to see how we went 48-1. Let's go over to team stats first, then we can look at the individual stats that got us there. In terms of offense, we are a top 10 offense. We are the best defense in the league. Stifling. They don't even score 100 points per game on average against us. Have a great differential. We make the most field goals in the league. We take the fourth most. Okay, we are incredibly efficient from the field. Now, the Rockets this year, the way that their offense was performing well was by getting a bunch of offensive rebounds, so it didn't matter what percentage they shot. They just got it anyways. We are bottom of the league in three-pointers made. That's interesting. Not very good efficiency. We take the least shots and we make the least shots, and we convert them at the lowest rate. So we are the opposite of today's game, where teams are trying to focus on getting up threes more, or at least good efficiency threes, corner threes, stuff like that. We're going the other way, and we're working. So this is kind of like how the Rockets are moving. In terms of free throws made, we're bottom of the league. Attempts, don't know where we are. We are the least efficient at free throws. Okay, so our big men are probably getting to the line. Lead the league in offensive rebounds by 5 more than the next team. 20 per game. Insane work. Defensive rebounds per game, we lead as well, just by a small margin over the Spurs. Total rebounds per game, we lead, and the difference is on the offensive end. Thank you, Mitchell Robinson and Steven Adams. Assists per game, we also have the highest as well. We are top 10 in steals per game. Blocks per game, not as good. Bottom 10, very interesting. With a big lineup like this, I thought we'd be better. And especially because we're protecting the paint. Let's look at turnovers per game. We are pretty good at keeping the ball. That's very good to see. All right. And then we're probably, best at opponent field goal percentage, and opponent 3-point percentage. All right, cool. So let's look at the player stats now. All right. Sengun is leading us in terms of points, giving us 25, 7, and 5. Jalen Johnson behind him, 18, 8, and 6. Westbrook, 17, 4, and 5. Amen Thompson, 15, 6, and 4. Keldon Johnson, 13, 5, and 1. Jay Hart, 10, 6, and 5. So we're getting a decent amount of distributing from a lot of guys on the team. No one's really far and away taking it up. And maybe what I'll do is I'll look at per 36 in just a second. Yeah, Mitch isn't getting a lot of rebounds, but he's not playing a ton of minutes. So let's look at per 36. Yeah, DOR probably played, 3 games. He probably played a couple minutes. Steven Adams, per 36, getting you 11. Mitch, 10. Shampenny, 9. Johnson, 8. Johnson, 8. 7 for Sengun, 7 for Hart, 7 for Thompson. Okay, so because we have a lot of guys that just grab the ball, they're all fighting over them, and no one's averaging a ridiculous amount by themselves. Westbrook, Johnson, and Hart are distributing the most. Daniels and Sengun behind them, as well as Thompson. On the defensive end, Thompson, Daniels, Shampenny, Sengun getting us some steals, as well as Hart and Westbrook. 1 a game. Robinson, Johnson as well. Blocks, Mitch, Sengun, and Adams are leading the way, only with 1 each. They're probably not playing a ton of minutes, although this is per 36 too, so interesting. Interesting to see. Oh, and one more thing to check with the player stats. Let's look at their efficiency, because we're best from the field and worst from 3. So let's see how many shots they're getting up. So, okay, I forgot we have Amen Thompson on our team. Yeah, he's not very good at shooting 3-pointers, and he doesn't like to shoot them as well, shooting just 1.5 a game. He's putting up a ton of shots from the field, as well as Jalen Johnson. He's shooting some, not shooting it efficiently. Sengun shooting a bunch at the rim, 3 a game from 3, as well as Russ. He's getting to the rim, 3 threes per game. We got some guys that never take threes, like Adams. Keldon Johnson shooting pretty good from 3. He's helping us out, shooting about 4 a game. He's important to keep on this team. Got to remember that. Daniels having a bad year, shooting from 3, just terrible. And Shampenny shooting decent, a little bit below league average, but I mean, hell, we'll take what we can get the way this team's been shooting. And Russ is shooting pretty good too. We'll take 35 from Russ, and as well as from Josh. 36% is pretty good. We'll take that. All right, so let's take a quick look at our trade block, and I think we're probably set. We don't really need to get these guys. We already got enough centers. In terms of shooting guards, it would be just a minor improvement. Maybe we look at Conchar. What's his let's look at his stats again. Rebounding B-. Nah, it's not worth it. I say we just keep moving. Our team's doing well. Let's simulate the regular season and go to the end of the season. Okay, we do not have any picks this year, so we're just going to go past the draft. We are going to keep Van Vliet, Shampenny, and Thompson. I'm going to see if I can move Van Vliet because he's not doing anything on this team. He's got a decent-sized contract. See if we could get someone for him. Okay, we have fixed Fred Van Vliet and made him a point guard once again. And we will look to see what we can get on the open market for him. Oh. DeJounte Murray's good at rebounding. He's only a C, but he always grabs rebounds in the sim. Let's see who else we can get. Mitchell. I'm going to see if I can work this out without giving up Steven Adams. They just need $1 million. We could find $1 million. Here, have Tyler Kolek. Okay. That might have been a little bit of an overpay, but Murray's a better fit. He will get rebounds and will help this team continue to bound and astound. All right, we got to get 5 more guys. We're going to go see rebounding. We can get Drummond on the minimum. Of course, we're going to grab him. See if there's any center power forward. Yep. We do need a power forward too, so we can make one of these guys. Charles Bassey. He's cheap. We'll just get him. And we'll make him a power forward. See if we could get Kobe Brown too. He's good at rebounding. He's a B+. We're able to get all those guys, and then we just need a point guard and a shooting guard. So I'm going to go over to point guards, and then we will look at the, oh shoot, we got Russ. Can we, oh, we can't get him back. That's so sad. That sucks. He's the perfect guy. Yeah, he's the best rebounding point guard. We might have to find a way to trade for him. Ben Simmons is out there. I completely forgot about him. We should have picked him up in free agency by trading away some guys. Let's see if I can find a shooting guard. Tari Eason. Yeah. Jordan Goodwin. He's been balling out. We'll grab him. Hopefully he's not on a restricted free agent contract. Okay. And so we have 15 guys. It looks like we have our team. Let's move to player progression. And I'm probably going to have to trade someone now that Mohamed Diawara signed that contract. But a lot of our guys are getting better. Sengun gets better. Thompson, Daniels, Hart, Johnson all up by 1, as well as Simmons. Kobe Brown gets better. Diawara gets better. Adams gets worse. Drummond gets worse. And how's that rebounding, though? That rebounding, that's just fine. Bassey gets 2 better. Goodwin goes down, and his rebounding goes down. That kind of stinks. But he might not be getting a lot of minutes as the worst guy on the team. But now we can move on to our second season. Let's check the rotation. See if we need to balance things out. We don't have a lot of small forward, so I think I'm just going to move DeJounte Murray to small forward. And then that should balance things out. Yep. And let's check to see. Drummond's the last guy off the bench. So we got 3. And also, oh, that's what I should have done too. Because I got Simmons playing point guard, but that's fine. He could fill that Russ role. Probably not going to give us as many points per game, but just be a bigger guard. All right, so I think I like our rotation. Let us simulate the regular season, and I'll see you guys at the trade deadline. All right, we are at the trade deadline, and we are 47-6. So a little bit worse than last year, but that's probably from losing Russ as one of our scorers. Let's take a look at the stats and see what's been happening with this team. So we do have, is that the best? Yeah, the best record in the league. We are top 3 offense. The best defense, still holding teams under 100 on average. Hitting the most shots. And hitting them at the most efficient clip. Oh my god, we are really making 7 3-pointers a game. We're not taking a lot, but damn. Okay, so 34%. Let me go back to that. 34% is up from last year, I believe. And we're not the worst in the league. Okay, so we're getting a little bit better there. Free throws made, we're at the bottom. We're also not taking that many. In terms of rebounding, we are still the top rebounding team, only by 2 though. And we're not the best defensive rebounding team. Let me make sure that our coach didn't change. You know, still crashing the glass, protecting the paint, playing physical defense. We have no offensive focus. Maybe we need an offensive focus. I'm going to say switch this to play through star. And then hopefully everybody fills in around that. Let's look at our individual stats. I'll go per 36. Everyone's on the floor for a different amount of time. See, getting the DeJounte Murray, I knew that was going to be a good move. He's given us a lot of points that we missed from Russ. Sengun giving you 27. Keldon Johnson 23, 22 from Drummond. Wow. So he only started 7 games, played 53 though. But he's really efficient when he's out there. And also getting 11 rebounds. 20 and 9 and 7 from Jalen Johnson. Thompson's kind of like, Amen Thompson is like a mini Johnson in terms of his stats. Just averaging a little bit less in rebounds and assists. 2 really important guys. All right, and is anyone standing out? Simmons, Hart, Johnson, Murray, and Thompson are your top guys dishing and swishing. Steals, Bassey, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. He's not playing a lot. Daniels is grabbing a bunch of steals, as well as Murray, Thompson, and Mitch. Blocks per game, Mitch stepping up, getting around 2 a game. Let's look at the efficiency of our players. Mitch shooting 70% from the field. Only putting up 3 shots a game, but hey, they go in. Let's look at, thank God, Amen Thompson is only shooting 2 threes per game because he's only converting at 23%. Thanks for that. But from the field, he's a monster. Jalen Johnson helping on both sides. From 3, shooting 42%. Ben Simmons shooting 61% from the field, not taking threes. Thank you for that. Sengun shooting 36%. That's pretty good from 3. Keldon Johnson 40% from 3. Hart 36. Again, we'll take that. Keldon Johnson really helping us out there. Dyson Daniels is not helping us, taking 2 threes a game, shooting 23% from 3. DeJounte Murray not shooting well from 3, and he's putting up 5 a game, so that's kind of a hindrance. Shenpenny is shooting bad from 3 as well. Yep, we just have a lot of guys that are not good at shooting threes. Okay, so maybe playing through the star will help organize the guys. Maybe because we're not telling anyone to be the guy. Everyone's trying to be the guy and take the shot, so we'll do play through star. Use that and then see where we end up at the end of this season. And before I keep simming, I'm going to extend some of our guys. So Josh, he wants to stick around on not a very expensive contract. We will give that to him. DeJounte, you're giving us the offense we need. So yeah, we got to keep you around. Shenpenny, you want to stay here on basically a minimum? Yeah, of course. I'm not going to tell you no. All right, and then we will keep it simming. Victor Wembanyama is your MVP with 25, 11, and 5. 2.5 blocks and a steal a game. This guy is your Rookie of the Year. Khalil Ware is the 6th Man of the Year. Victor is the DPOI as well as the MVP. Toot Henderson is your Most Improved Player. Paolo is the Clutch Player of the Year. And we win Coach of the Year once again, going 72-10, as well as the Exec of the Year. All right, let's see who our opponent will be in the first round. It is the Golden State Warriors. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they are gone in a sweep. We're going to now play OKC. 1, 2, 3, 4, another sweep. On to the Phoenix Suns, who go down 1, 2, 3 straight sweeps. And we are in the NBA Finals. DeJounte Murray is your Western Conference Finals MVP. 32, 5, and 4. Big help. Definitely need those points. And we're going up against Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons. Cade and them, who averaged 38, 7, and 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Damn. He was cooking the Knicks. All right. Let's take a peek at our rotation to make sure everything's set. We don't have a lot of center minutes. That's interesting. So, Sengun's hurt. Okay. So that'll impact that. And then Adams has regressed, so he's not getting any minutes. So Shenpenny, Simmons. Do I move Simmons to center? I think I might do that. Yeah. Because he can really play any position. Yeah, and he gets better anyways. So we'll make him a center power forward. That'll make point guard minutes small, so we will move DeJounte back to point guard from small forward. All right, so this is even out a little bit more. And Ben Simmons, Mitch will get the center minutes as well as Drummond. Okay, I think this is a little bit more balanced. So let's give this a shot and sim through the game. Win the first, win the second, win the third. Is this just going to be a straight sweep? And actually, before we do that then, let's take a peek at the games, see what's happening. So win this one, don't score a ton of points. Just win by 11. Win the second game by 20. And win this game by holding the Pistons down, not scoring a ton of anything. So just dominating defensively. And in a sweep of every single round, 16 games straight, the Houston Rockets go on a run. Jalen Johnson is your finals MVP with 21, 10, and 6. 2 steals and a block. All-around performance from Jalen Johnson. and almost shooting 50, 40, 90 as well. Let's move right before the draft, see if we have any assets or any picks. This guy's going to be David Robinson. It would be nice to pick him, but he's 6'9". How can he be David Robinson? I don't know if I buy that. Yeah, we might skip that. Okay, we have the 8th pick in the first round as well as the second, as well as 20th pick in the first round and a second, which is 18th. So I think what I'm going to do is see if we could use that pick along with someone to upgrade to a better rebounder. Not really getting anything interesting for Dyson Daniels. So we might just keep it rolling. I'll see who falls to us at the 8th pick and then see if they offer us a trade. No, they don't care. All right, so we'll just grab someone, I guess. And these guys aren't looking too good, so I get why they didn't want to give us anything for it. Let me see if I just put it up. What could you give me? Yeah, give me the 10th pick. That's exactly what I want for the 8th pick. Yeah, I might as well just trade out of it. Gather more picks so we can trade for a guy that we know is a good rebounder type of thing. And you know what? We will... I guess we'll use it. Actually use that 20th round. We'll grab this guy. He's at 69, but he's 20, so hopefully he'll progress. We'll get some G League guys, and then we'll put him down to the G League. Bunch of centers. Some shooting guards. And we actually have a full team. And we still need to sign a men. So we will have to trade after we sign a men. And is he not going to take an offer? That would be perfect, because then we could get him on the cheap. Oh, please take that contract. Damn. Got a better offer from the Warriors. Okay. 16 guys, so now I will have to move off of one of them. I think I'm just going to move Jordan Goodwin. He's a nice cheap player, but he doesn't play much for us, so we'll trade him, we'll get a pick, and then we'll keep it moving. Jalen Johnson gets better by 1. Daniels gets better 2. Sengun better 1. Josh drops 2 overall. DeJounte up 1 spot. Simmons up 2, mostly due to positional changes. Kobe Brown up 1. Champagny down 1. Drummond down 2. And is he becoming a worse rebounder? He is. Okay. As is Steven Adams. Okay, interesting. All right, so our team's getting a little bit worse at the thing that differentiates us. That probably does not bode well. Let's see if we can hold off the rest of the league and get our three-peat. Checking the rotation we have in our good rebounders. And then DeJounte, who they says is not a good rebounder, but always does well in the sim with that. We will keep him in. And our rotation looks pretty balanced. All right, I think we're ready to sim this. We have made it to the trade deadline. We are 46-5, still dominating the league. Let's see what that means in terms of our team stats. We are a top 5 offense, still the best defense in the league, although we are losing our grip a little bit. They are now averaging 100 points per game. Shame on us. Best differential, still the most efficient from the field, the least efficient from 3, and also taking the second least shots, but making having the least makes. Free throws, pretty bad efficiency wise. Bottom 10 in makes. Offensive rebounds, we lead the league by about 2, maybe 3. Rebounds per game, we are up 2 over the next best team. We are dishing and swishing. We're getting 33 assists per game. That is best in the league. Steals, we are top 5. And we are, where are we in blocks? Moved up a little bit. Okay, we're getting 5 blocks a game now. It's still just outside the bottom 10. Turnovers per game, we are not bottom 10, not top 10. We are kind of middling there. Okay, so we're turn it over a little bit more. All right, let's look at the player stats. Gonna look at efficiency first, and then we'll move on to per 36. So Bassie shooting incredibly efficient from the field, probably not playing too much. Same thing for Mitch and Amen. Shooting terrible from three, though. Thank God it's only 1.5 shots per game. He should just give that up. That would help us a lot. Jalen Johnson's shooting 37% from three. We take that. Simmons hasn't shot one. That's good. Sengun only 32%. He is also hurt. Keldon Johnson shooting well from three. That helps us. DeJounte shooting 35. We'll take it. Josh 37. Yep, we'll take that. Daniel's hurting us, taking 3 shots a game, only hitting at 24%. Just pass it to someone else, my guy. Champagne shooting 35%. That's fine. Kobe Brown is not shooting well. He's shooting 2 shots a game. All right. All right. Looking at per 36, DeJounte still getting them up, getting us a ton of points per game per 36. Same thing for Sengun. Johnson, and Thompson all averaging around 20. Johnson giving you 9 and 7. Johnson giving you 7 and 1. Thompson 5 and 6, we'll call it. Assists, our leaders are Benjamin, Simmons, Jalen Johnson, DeJounte Murray, Dyson Daniels, Sengun, Hart, all above 5, as well as Thompson. Steals, Bassie leads the way. Probably not playing a lot yet. 12 games played, so limited minutes to get that per 36. Daniels, Thompson, Murray, all close to 2 steals a game, so that's pretty good. Blocks per game, Bassie, again, limited minutes. Not much impact there. Mitch with almost 2. A couple guys averaging about 1. All right. So I think what we'll do is we'll check to see, do we got to do any contract extensions? Nope. I think we'll just keep this moving. And I feel pretty good about us being able to three-peat. Victor Wembanyama is your most valuable player. 28, 13, and 5 with 3 blocks a game. He's probably also going to be your defensive player of the year if I had to guess. This guy's your rookie of the year. 6th man of the year, some other guy. Defensive player of the year is, in fact, Victor Wembanyama with 3 blocks a game. Most improved, Yaku Chonis. And LaMelo Ball is your clutch player of the year. We win Coach of the Year yet again, going 75 and 7. And your NBA Cup MVP is Alperen Sengun. We have added that to our trophy case. And now let's see if we can get another NBA championship with this core. In the first round, we'll be playing the Phoenix Suns. We have beat them before. Heck, we've beaten a lot of teams before. That's a sweep. We will play the Mavericks. They win the first game. We win the second, the third, the fourth. All right, and after a little scare in that first game, we're moving on to the conference finals against the San Antonio Spurs, who I would think would be our toughest opponent, and they are now 2nd seeded, so pretty formidable. We win the first, the second, the third. I don't know what I was talking about. Gentleman's sweep? Yeah, gentleman's sweep. Okay. And Jalen Johnson and the Rockets will be taking on the Raptors in the finals. Scotty Barnes and the Raptors. Jalen Johnson averaged 25, 8, and 6 on incredible efficiency. Well over 50, 40, 90. All right, let's see how this goes. And actually, before I do that, let me take a look at our regular season stats, see if anything changed much. Just a quick check. Top 5 offense, yeah. Defense still the best. Still the most efficient from the field. Didn't get much better at threes. 34% is a little bit more respectable, though. We've been trash. Still best rebounds, assists, decent with steals. Moved up, I think we moved up a little bit with steals. Okay, so let us sim, and we're going to do simcast for this last game. Maybe see a little bit of play, because it looks like we will succeed. And oh my god, holding them to 66 with 4 minutes left. Let's jump in, see a little bit of gameplay. Okay, so we will not control and just watch what they do. See how this team works without us. All right, there's that offensive rebounding. You want to get out of the paint? Almost got another offensive rebound. It's interesting because their offense really doesn't look that great, but they're the most efficient in the league. That was a nice move. Nice cut. Yep, that's easy. Oh, he's wide open. Hits it. Oh, should pull up. Damn, okay. All right, I think we've seen enough. We could check out the stats. Jalen Johnson led the way, giving you 26. DeJounte had a lot of couple. Oh, those was his only 2 threes that he made there at the end. Everyone was rebounding. A lot of guys were dishing. Jalen had 4 steals and 3 blocks. Damn. Yep, that is a crazy good game. All right, and your Houston Rockets are 3-time back-to-back-to-back NBA champions. Jalen Johnson is your finals MVP with almost 30, 10, and 8. Wow, really stepping up. Stealing the block a game as well. Incredible efficiency. All right, so before we leave, let's check out the playoff stats by player. We'll go per 36. DeJounte, most efficient in his minutes. Seems like Jalen Johnson would probably play in the most, giving you a little bit of everything from the floor. Keldon Johnson stepped up in terms of scoring. Thompson scoring well. Everyone's rebounding. That's kind of the whole point. Oh, yeah. Steven Adams dishing, giving you 18 a game. Definitely playing a ton of minutes in those 2 games. And then Simmons, Johnson, Daniels, Murray, Thompson. Same type of guys. Just kind of stuffing the stat sheet, grabbing boards, doing everything that their team needs on the floor. And let's look at efficiency. Anyone really? Keldon Johnson giving us some much needed shooting from 3. That was a big help. Same for same for Johnson. Murray shooting almost 40%. That helps a lot. And then everyone else was just trash. Absolute trash at shooting 3s. All right. This has been an interesting sim. I think what we can tell from this is that if you guys are going to rebound and shoot efficient shots at the rim, you could still actually win. Very interesting that we were basically the worst 3-point shooting team the entire time and easily won 3 championships in a row. That was interesting to me. Watching them play, they didn't really seem to have a good offense at all. Like they were able to get some cuts open. And I think that's because I was doing play through the star, and I guess we didn't really have a clear star when Sengun wasn't on the floor. So maybe when you have a team that's a little bit more mid, trying something else out for that. But this has been fun. This has been BK Plays. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.